when the lid will then be removed from hell, and a wind will blow forth from it, together with a terrible cloud of smoke. The wicked sinners will thus discover that it has a stinking aroma, even though the distance between them and hell is still that of a journey that normally takes 500 years to complete. Hell will then be brought closer, dragged along by means of an enormous chain, to which it has been firmly tied. 19 keepers, chosen from among the angels, will be tugging at that chain, and each of those keepers will be accompanied by 70,000 other angels, serving as his assistants. While each of the 19 keepers, together with his assistants, takes a turn at dragging hell along, the other keepers, together with their assistants, will be walking to the right and left of it, and following up behind it. Each and every angel amongst them will hold in his hand a grappling hook made of iron. They will shout and bellow as they goad hell along, but its slow progress will be made to the accompaniment of moaning and sighing, staggering and stumbling, clouds of gloom and smoke, rattling and clanking noises, and a towering inferno stoked by the fury of its rage against its own inhabitants. Thus they will eventually install it in a position midway between the Garden of Paradise and the place where the resurrected creatures are kept standing. At this point, hell will lift its gaze. As soon as it spies the creatures assembled there, it will bolt towards them in order to devour them. Its keepers will have to pull on its chains to hold it in check, for if it were left to its own devices, it would pounce upon every believer and unbeliever without distinction. Once it sees that it has been effectively restrained from attacking the assembled throng of creatures, it will simmer and boil with an intensity that can hardly be distinguished from the most furious kind of rage. Then it will heave another sigh, and the resurrected creatures will hear the sound of the gnashing of its teeth. This will cause their hearts to shudder and tremble with alarm. They will fly into a state of panic, their eyes will glaze over, and their hearts will end up in their throats. There will come a moment when hell asks its Lord, Almighty and glorious is He, for permission to perform an act of worship prostration. He will give it permission to do so, and hell will thereupon adopt an attitude of prostration for as long as Allah wills. Then the all-compelling One, Almighty all-glorious is He, will say, Now raise your head. Hell will raise its head at once, saying, Praise be to Allah who has made me the instrument by which He exacts retribution from those who disobey Him, and has not made anything in the whole of His creation an instrument by which to exact retribution from me.